Welcome to another one of my videos. Well, we're going to talk through another taper. This taper here on this customer is probably one of the hardest I do. It's the most satisfying because of his hair colour and skin colour, but it's super tough. So 1.5 closed, mini trimmer line, and now just edging it out with a half guard open and a half guard closed. Staying right within, like you can see that arched from kind of the bottom of where his temple is to the top of his ear. So I'm using my high vis wiles and just edging this up. Now he's got really strong hairline, that's why you get that really strong sort of curve there. Some people like to spray this on now. I don't do that, but you know, there's nothing wrong with it. But his hairline is able to support that real strong line itself. So yeah, I keep working away at his hair because it's so grainy and so thick. You have to just keep kind of trying to manicure it, try and like work it into place. So you kind of do it once, get kind of a very patchy fade, and do it again, smooth it out, and then you have a look at it again. It's usually a little bit patchy, and then you have to push it up a little bit, and it's, you know, keep condensing until it starts to really blur out. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on, keep doing that. Using my Wild Magic clips, which I've actually changed the blade on these because I do so many haircuts they go blunt. So it's like having a brand new set of clippers. And these high vis, honestly, I cannot say how amazing they are. Okay, so now I'm connecting, and this is a 2 open. So basically by 2 open, I mean that the taper lever is fully open all the way down. And that's how I connect into the top of his hair. So it's usually about 1/4 inch up, but I take that out with a 2 open, and then I'm going to go underneath with a 1.5 open, then 1.5 closed, then a 1 open, and then a 1 closed. There's me sort of explaining as I'm doing this to around me. I'm working on some other videos at the minute where I'm going to be talking about industry bits and pieces, and I think we're all doomed. Not doomed, but we need to do some work. Okay, so I'm now just edging that up and lining it up again, spin them around. He gets to see it now, and I'm going to work on the back. So you can see he comes in for a haircut every couple of weeks, so every 2 to 3 weeks I think actually. So the back is, I'm keeping this underneath his skull, so where the curve of the skull is. So I'm going to use that to work into, you know, actually work it into the rest of the hair and connect it. So once again, it's 2 fingers, so it's like right underneath the occipital bone is 1.5 closed, and then it's a mini trimmer line, right, which is slightly arched. Put an unhappy face if you want, or unhappy smile even. Okay, so that's what we're going to leave there. Then I'm going to just foil that out, clean it off, so you're working from a clean base point. Okay, so now we've got a half guard open and then a half guard closed. Now, his hair and density at the back is so thick. So all I really do first pass is knock out some of that, like that dark patch in between the where I'm going to be tapering or fading. So that's half guard open, half guard closed, and then take the guard off and just open it up with the flipper. So now I'm sort of just working that around. So you can see that it's so thick, that even with me doing that, it's still, where I'm working now, is it's still quite heavy and it's still quite patchy. So I keep working that out, keep working it until it becomes, you know, there's no line. And then after that, you might see it's a little bit weighty, like it's like a darker patch. So I work out all the lines and like smooth it out with the first pass. So half guard open, half guard closed, and then you can see me working it there. Now I'm starting to slightly try and push the 0 line up, so I get more of like a consistent transition. Because sometimes you'll put your mini trimmer line in and rub it out, but where the skull is, it's just darker and it almost looks like there's not enough space in between. It needs to be balanced. So where I've pushed it up again now, see I've got the foil out again, so I'm just pushing that skin line up again by a fraction, just so I can push that up so you get more of a, you know, a nicer transition. So now we're going to get onto the connection. So this again is a 2 open, so literally just going up to the occipital bone, going up ever so slightly and creating another kind of weight line. And now I've got a 1.5 open, which I'm just pushing that up underneath the 2 open. And see his hair is so dark, and trying to get like the perfect fade, like taper fade in his hair, because it's so dense. You can see I have to keep pushing it. Now I'm getting my half guard. So it's at this stage here is where my OCD kicks in, where I cannot leave a certain section until I've done a certain amount of things. I have a different cameraman today. This is Dan, that's my cameraman, and he said during this that he hates taking things in landscape, and you can kind of tell because I've had to do loads of editing because he keeps moving the camera around. And he did this, we're doing this, you know, in between customers, like this is, you know, Lex is a customer. Can you see where I've been rubbing it out now, and just each different pass, not going up too high, just trying to maintain something really smooth all the way across, and eventually it starts to pop. But this goes along with the thing that I try and tell everybody, is that you're trying to find the perfect fade underneath the hair that you already have, not cut it off to create it. And so that's why I always refine. I always go long, always leave the taper lever fully out every time, and then move it down and move it down, so I take off as little as I possibly can so I can find what's hiding underneath. So just edging that up just inside his hairline. And trying to keep up with me as I spin the chair around, because like I said, Lax is a customer. And I've got another customer due in, and this was a 45-minute trim, which Lax is a monthly member, so he gets, I think it's 2 of these a month for £40. So there you go, I'm just pushing it up again. You can see, like, you can see each time I've done this, and I've tried to show every step in this, so I hope this wasn't boring, but I'm trying to show you that, you know, after that first step, and then you do the fade out, and then as I just keep pushing that up ever so slightly and refining it. He's falling asleep. You can see as he pushes his head up, that's where you get that real lovely sort of contrast between light and dark, and it's smooth. But beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? It's not an exact science. Some people out there won't like this. This is how I you know, envisage this is how I like tapers to look. You can see he's fallen asleep in the chair. His head keeps dropping, bless him. Okay, so there you go, there's the sort of completed taper. I forgot to take landscape videos at the end, so you're just going to have to take these portrait ones, which I then put over TikTok and Instagram, because I try and get as much content as I can out of every cut that I do. I try and get a TikTok, I try and get Instagram, and I try and get a YouTube landscape and YouTube shorts. So this is I forgot to do it, sorry. Anyway, thank you so much. Like and subscribe, just, you know, share it around. If you'd like me to do any other cuts or specifics, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. But thank you very much. This is Relax's Taper, and I'll see you again in the other video.